What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rolling Out. We are here with a very, very special guest in the studio in Atlanta, Georgia. We have the most energetic entertainer host in the building, Mr. Manni Supreme. Manni, how you feeling, man?
How you feeling, man?
I'm cool. Wait, hold on. Hey, Manni from the great Georgia State, greatest university.
Greatest
Come on, man.
university of all time. We graduate the most African American institution in the world.
In the world. So shout out, salute to Georgia State, everything like that. We got the things going on right now. Man, all right. So first things first. Where do I even want to take this? Because there's so many places we can take this. I guess I'm gonna start off with this because I feel like this is like the coolest part about you.
Yeah.
It's like when you graduated Georgia State. What was that? Last year?
The beginning of this year.
Oh, the beginning of this year.
Yeah, spring.
That's first of all, that's crazy. All right, but second of all, the beginning of this year, you had DJ Drama like narrate the trailer, and I understand from like just work and everything how the networking of that happened, but it's just like that's insane. Like
I know,
when I graduated college, it was like my mom was like, "Congratulations!" You had like a Gangsta Grills
graduation thing.
How was that? Just kind of first of all, I know it's kind of hard to see it, being that drama and stuff like that, but how was that?
I mean, first off, shout out to the whole Generation Out family, Drama, Ken, and Lake. They really like taking me in and like embraced my talents and stuff. I mean, Willie, Joe, Royce, TC, it's a real family based over there, and like everything that I do career-wise, they really support me. But funny enough, that idea, I was sitting in the library because I was literally I turned in my last assignment, and I remember I just wanted to do something big for my graduation because it's like, school has helped me so much, but towards the end, once I started to get a little bit bigger in terms of like hosting, I felt like it was slowing me down. So I was like, I just want to make it a point to show everybody like you can do it too. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be in school and do the goals that you want to do. And I was like, what better way than drama to do? I kind of wanted like a Call Me If You Get Lost type of narration for it. But shout out to my creative director, Cezanne. He was with me. He kind of helped put it together and everything too for the script. And I remember after I had made the script, I texted to TC. He's the creative director for Generation Now. And I texted, he was like, send it to Drum. Send it to him. He gave it back to me in like 6 hours.
That's crazy. Hey man, shout out Drum.
Shout out Drum, man.
6 hours is crazy. That's a crazy turnaround. That made me working.
Facts.
But oh my gosh, that's just crazy because it's like, it also shows Atlanta, like the importance of Atlanta. I feel like Georgia State's really slept on just with location.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people look at school names, school brand, and this and that, but like
and the students in there, like there's a lot of dope talent in Georgia State. That's like, I won't even say undeveloped. It's like the light is just not getting shined on.
100%.
So that's one of my goals, to like shine a light on Georgia State.
Jack Harlow pretty much
worked in the Chick-fil-A.
Right, worked in the Chick-fil-A. So salute to everybody. Shout out to E Chapo as well.
Right, shout out to E Chapo, man. A lot of J. Mark B, Trey Tracks, the list goes on.
OG Macko.
Mike Will.
Luda.
Come on, man.
Well, Luda, everybody knows. All right. Where did I want to go with that? It was like we were talking about Georgia State. Oh, the location.
Yeah.
I had a homie. He was, at Georgia State. He got the job at 92.9. He's not finishing. Yeah. We were like, please, and like we had one of our friends had a wedding and stuff like that. Like, please, just like do it at least for your son. He's like, maybe when I'm like 75 and I can get it for free from the state school. So I guess, what did that kind of mean to you, like to your mom? I mean, to your family. Yeah. Finishing, even though you kind of caught on while you were in school. What would that mean to you?
Man, it's big, man. My mom's a teacher.
Yeah.
So I grew up.
You ain't had no choice.
Even when I left school, I was going to her school. You know what I'm saying? So I really didn't have a choice, but she always really instilled a lot of discipline in me and just like, once you start something, finish it. So it definitely, with me being in school, like a lot of my peers, obviously, weren't in school, so it was a lot of things that I had to miss out on, like going out of town or going on tour because I got a test, you feel me? So it really showed my integrity, and it was able to show me okay, well, if you're able to sit down and just lock in, the reward is going to be great, because a lot of opportunities I do have now not have just come because I have a degree from Georgia State, but because of everything I was doing inside of the institution while I was there, so it was important. I'm glad I finished.
I really, even though you're younger than us, we both GSU as well, but like I looked up to you in a lot of ways, and just like how you get to the money in media. It's like you and Fly Guy, like what y'all doing right now in media is just crazy because there's such a stigma on there's a cap to what you can make in media unless you're Stephen A.
Exactly.
And it's like, no, you can speak, you can do hosting, you can like there's different ways to get to the money. So I guess, just like for you, where did this idea even come from for you to not be like, I'm gonna be on the radio, I'm just gonna be a regular journalist, I'm gonna make money as a media personality? At what point did that kind of come to mind?
Man, so my goal always, I grew up listening to radio, but my goal, and it still is my goal, is like to be Jimmy Fallon. Like that's my end goal, have a late night show or whatever. So I just realized with doing that, Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and all these other great, David Letterman, right? They were big in one entity. A lot of them is comedy, right? But see, I want mine to be more an authentic of like growing and developing new artists, right? So like building those relationships. So when like the Tony Snows and the Anicias win their Grammys, and they come on late night with Manni Supreme, we've been had this relationship, So it's like that's my goal with it, and I don't know. I just try to inspire those around me to like really look and write down what you want to do. And I say this for my Manni motivation on the radio all the time. Write down what you want to do and then actively like work towards those goals. And that's why I was like, okay, being Jimmy Fallon is that. How can I get there? Being lit in one entity, music. How do I get lit in music? Putting on new people. So it's just like following those steps, hopefully will lead to where I want to be.
100%. And how do you look up to Arsenio Hall? Like, I feel like,
man, of course I got
he's the one black one.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like, and we talk about this all the time, being at the radio station. Shout out to my posting on the corner family, Incognito and DJ Mixes. Come on, man, and Hazmat. And we talk about this all the time. Being in radio, it's in this spot where you have to cross terrestrial radio with like podcasting and stuff like that. So that's the area and space that I'm trying to get into. And then watching greats like Arsenio Hall and Jimmy Fallon, and I also watch a lot of stand-up too, like the Dave Chappelle's, like of course Kevin Hart, he's one of my favorites, and like watch how they work the room and stuff like that, and just taking those bits and pieces to try to implement into this new age of media with TikTok and stuff like that.
It's like it's pretty genius the stuff you're doing, and like you said, even the background of it, of like coming from like doing skits early on in high school and in college, and like taking those hits of looking corny. I think it's always like so many creatives, right, hold back and they don't chase their dreams because they're afraid to look corny.
What people say. And it took me a minute to get over that. Like, and I would say even more recently, and shout out to Wadi out, they do a lot of the events that I throw. We just had a concert with Raw Now, Mariah the Scientist, and Baby Drill, right? And like, shout out to Rihanna and Dre. They always tell me, like, bro, you have to have that confidence. And it's not that I didn't have it. It was just I'm in my head a lot about what I do, and I'm very particular about a lot of stuff that I do. Like, for example, I have a freestyle series with Hot 107.9 that I haven't really released yet, like Schoolie, Young Maul, Quill. I have a lot of freestyle sitting, but it's like it's not up to the part that I wanted to. And it's just like, any creators watching this, get out your head, bro. Just drop, just do it. Because one thing that you do, and Cannon tells me this all the time, shout out to my Tomorrow family, they always say, just put shots up, bro. Because you're going to hit. You're going to make at least one. So it's like, any creators out there, just throw shots up. And then it'll land.
One's going to stick. It's going to land. I guess, just like seeing the Caribou, because Carrie's having a moment right now.
Shout out Care. Shout out Whole Concrete.
Yeah. Shout out Concrete. Nisi's having a moment as well.
Shout out Nene.
Just kind of like seeing, them when they first started, like when they first got that little buzz, and you were like, that's gonna be something. How is it now seeing like that progression of, and it's like I told you so.
It made me so happy because like these are my peers for real, right? So it's like, from Kara to Anicia to Camo, Jada Lux, Tony Snow.
Is Camo from here?
He's from Covington.
I didn't
have
okay.
Out like that. Yeah. Me and Camo actually met at Georgia State.
Wow.
Our first day of class is like at Georgia State. They put you in like the cohort.
So that's how he got in. Okay, all right. And so, the first time I heard of Camo was with Concrete.
So like that was back then. When was this? This was like 2019.
Okay, wow.
And that's when we had met, first day of class. Camo never came to class. Because like shortly after is when I remember he was like, I was like, what you doing today? He was like, Boat got this shoot. I think that was like the first day he really met him. And you can see it's in the split whole time video. Camo is Yachty, Camo, and then Cardi.
Wow.
Crazy as fuck. Shout out Camo,
man. That's crazy. And I feel like Yachty is you gotta salute him for like what it's kind of like he never lost touch of the SoundCloud, the underground.
Exactly.
And that's something that I don't want to call Cardi. You know we just talking about Cardi. But shout out to Cardi for putting on Ken and So Lonely. But like I feel like that's something that Cardi kind of like lost touch with once he got to the status. It's like Yachty never lost that connect to the underground and stuff like that. I guess just what do you think is the importance of keeping connections and networking and everything like that on a grassroots level,
man,
no matter how big you get?
Staying grounded. Like, I was joking with my mom because I just moved recently, and then she was like, "Why are you at the bank over here?" I was like, "Going to the bank in the hood keeps me grounded." But I was joking, but it's like you have to do certain things. Like, for example,
I don't know if that's the smartest move.
Right, that's definitely not the smartest move. I don't recommend that. I'm joking, but like, I mean, it's small things that I do now, like talking to my granny, like my brothers. I'm getting older now. I'm having more nieces and nephews. Right. So it's like just really taking that time to step away from everything and like really look at what was supporting me before I had all these eyes on her, And I think doing that, me and Tony talk about that a lot, like staying grounded with the people that been supporting you before you start doing what you were doing.
He's someone like,
he's a true testament.
Like I went to school with him, so it's like I remember him being in school trying to get on anybody who rapped. Mm-hmm. He was on them like, let me help on your song. Let me help on a song. Let me help on a song.
Yeah.
And like he still, every time I see him, it's like he's still broke from high school.
Yeah.
He's not Tony Snow.
Yeah.
He's not. He's like, what's up, bro? Like
exactly.
And it's like that meant a lot to me the first time I saw him in a few years, like because I was out of state for a few years and stuff like that. But coming back to Atlanta, he lit. He got Vet was popping at this time. Yeah. He already had the whole kind of whisper. AR already popped, so like he had his following for a few years now.
Yeah.
First time I seen him in years, and he's still dapping me up like it's 2014.
And that's what it's about, those authentic relationships and just being a real human being. Right. A lot of people don't have that characteristic, and I applaud my friends on being like that.
How do you do this in the music industry with the egos? Because drama's like that too.
I know. It's what I've learned is like. I have one. We all have one to a certain extent. So it's about like how to play on that with certain people. Like I know certain people that I have to talk to a certain way that I can't talk to another person like that. But then that also comes off of relationships. Like how well do you know that person? Because if you really know somebody, they're not going to talk to you the same way as if they talk to somebody that they didn't know. So I just try to make sure I leverage my relationships. So it's like, we cool? Like how we homies,
right? Facts. But drama, like I said, drama is mad cool, bro. And it's like I do not know this man, but it's like
he's just as cool a person. Yeah. Actually, funny. People don't really realize how funny he is.
Yeah.
I would tell this one story, but I would just say in general, just from him to Lake to Cannon, just everybody over there. Every time I go over there, it's just a laughing fest because they all just have their own different personalities, and it's just hilarious, man. Shout out to them, bro.
Streets is watching radio, like you said. You trying to make that kind of transition into the online podcasting space. I guess kind of what do you really like? How is that different from radio? Because I think the obvious thing is cussing. It's like beyond that. Like I guess like what are some of the differences and how are you adjusting to that and how's the transition been for you so small?
Man, it's been great. We're launching our season 3 where we're shooting a day in the life series. Shout out to Money Man. We just shot an episode with him. That's gonna be coming out real soon. But right now we're making this transition. Shout out to J1 Pandora. Shout out to Nardo. What we're doing now, because Pandora and SiriusXM have a partnership, so my biggest thing right now is figuring out, okay, for all of these new artists, how can we put their music out to the masses without having to use terrestrial radio? Right. Because it's a lot of hoops that you have to go through to get your music played on Hot 107.9, but getting it in on a big show on Shade 45 is a lot easier and it's a bigger reach. Right. So what we've been trying to do is, definitely capitalize off the digital space, so the TikTok and the YouTube and things of that nature, but also promoting it with our hardcore listeners because the whole show originated, it's the affiliate Streets is Watching, Gangsta Girls, right? So it was Drama, Cannon, Trendsetter Simpson, and Sarah Vivian. But after that, time went by after COVID, and then what's funny enough, shout out to DJ Iceberg and Willie Joe. It was talking, and one day I was sitting at Hot 107, I was like, man, because Drama's show still airs on Hot 107.9 on Saturday
nights.
And so I was like, man, so what's up with like the actual Streets is Watching show on Shade 45? So I remember Iceberg was like, man, if you in town, just come to our studio, we just shoot some drops or whatever. And I'm like, all right. And so he texts me because the show airs on Fridays, if you don't know, from 8 to 10 p.m. on Shade 45, and then again on Saturdays at midnight. So I remember Iceberg texted me at like 7:45. He's like, yo, the show finna air. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking he just wanted me to hear his mixes. So I download the app, I pay for it, because you know you have to pay for Sirius XM, and then I listen to the breaks, and I'm talking, like, John not even talking. I'm like, what the fuck? So I call my mom, I'm like, bro, I'm on like Sirius XM right now. And she's like, what? She tell my grandma and stuff. And so, bro, this goes on for like a month and a half. Drama and them didn't even know. Like, they just thought I was just going in, like, practicing my chop stuff. So one day they tapped in because we started, I mean, at first they were just, putting mixes on, but I was actually talking. So more people started to at him on Instagram, at Cannon. So they were like, okay, why the fuck on Fridays is there always this much traffic? Yeah. So then we had to sit down. I mean, he like, man, I don't know what y'all got, but he was like, I like the initiative though. And see, that's something that I learned was just like, bro, just take the leap of faith, bro. Because if it's a dope product, people gonna fuck with it. You know? And I'm just blessed and grateful for the opportunity to have a platform like that to share it with my peers, like Nene and Tony, and so that they can grow.
Right. And I mean, but to do it at such a young age, because that's like a lesson a lot of people don't learn until later on in life. I guess who would you credit that aggressiveness to?
My mom for sure. My mom, my grandma, because they always told me when I was younger, it was just like, no, it's not an answer, And it's like I've always kind of been wired to be like, there is no plan B. Right. There is no plan B. Just make plan A work. Whatever y'all do, it can be plan A with many steps. Right. But there's no B, So just push it towards the market what you actually want to do.
I think the city pushes you too. Like Atlanta, it's
shout out to everybody.
Like they said, the home of finesse is like, if you can't get into a club, it's like, we getting in tonight.
We getting in. You gonna know somebody.
And then you're gonna end up at the end of the night next to the stage.
Gucci man, right there.
That's like the spirit of the city. So I feel like, just being kind of out and around and stuff like that. So that's a testament to you, and shout out to your mom and grandma as well. For sure. I guess just moving forward now, what are some of the next steps? Like you said, like now, like you're lit now, like your foot is in the door. Manni Supreme is Manni Supreme. Everybody knows the most energetic host in the city now. What is the difference now, this next step, and then Jimmy Fallon?
Man, I feel like right now my purpose, and I've been praying and asking God for this, is like really showing the higher ups, like whether it's label wise or music wise, this new music that's out, man. Because it's a lot of dope artists that's out, and people keep saying music is like in a bad space, but it's really not.
I think that's a lazy take.
It's really not.
It's a lazy take.
And I feel like it's a cop out for people not to listen to music. There's a lot of dope music that's out here, right?
I want to ask you. I'm sorry for cutting you off. No, I just want to think about this before I forget. Aaliyah's interlude. She's someone that I wasn't tapped into. Like I've heard of her name and stuff like that, but she wasn't someone I was tapped. I was listening to. I had Mercury on my list. I had Beta, and then of course like everybody else that we know and stuff. But this one, Aaliyah's interlude was the name I saw, and I was like, let me check her out. And now she's on Billboard.
Yeah, you feel me? Georgia State. She goes to Georgia State. You feel me?
Ain't no way.
Literally.
That's crazy.
So and that's like, shout out to Aaliyah, man. I think one thing that's super dope about her brand, because I got a chance to chop it up with her. I was at Broccoli City like this past summer with my Tamar family. We were shooting interviews and stuff like that. And I just commend her because having a following and having a brand that people authentically like for you can help push anything. Music, e-commerce, shirts, whatever it is, right? And I feel like being able to capitalize on that is a talent and a gift. But like I was saying before, man, I feel like my purpose right now and moving into like the top of 2024 is like really getting behind certain artists and like pushing their agenda to just figuring out how we can make the masses gravitate to them, Right. How can we support the people that's already supporting you, and how can we get, what I'm saying, like new eyes on you?
Right, 100%. I guess, what is the feeling when you see that? I know we talked about it a little early with Kara and Anicia, but like for someone like Tony, like who's independent, who doesn't have a Yachty or a lot of these larger cosigns, what does that mean to you when you hear I Want It, I Got It on Hot 97?
Man.
Or Hot 107.
Yeah, Hot 107. I'm not. What's crazy is I was in New York and they played a Tony song. I can't remember what station I was listening to. It might have been iHeart Shot that gave my On the Radar family. But man, it's dope. It's a good feeling. I remember when Iceberg first played. What record was this of Tony's? He just dropped it, No Fame.
Yeah.
Oh, he had been had
new one.
Yeah, I had been had that for like a couple months. I had anytime, and this is for my friends, they probably don't know. Anytime people send me new music, I immediately send it to Iceberg, so he can put it in the mix, just so that our listeners can get familiar with it.
Okay, so for the people watching this right now,
yeah, I just leaked that.
how can they?
But they know though, and it's just funny because
your DM's about to be.
Nah, for real. But I mean, my thing is like, bro, if you have dope music, bro, send it to me. You know what I'm saying? And not to me, I'll tell you who to send it to. But it's like, I want to push out good products. If you got good products, give it to me. I can do it. Literally.
I guess, kind of like, who are some people that you look up to as far as like people who put on people?
People I look up to in terms of people who put on people. For sure, DJ Drama, Don Cannon, Lake, my whole Chin Now family. I would say Ferrari Simmons. Ferrari Simmons, DJ Holiday, Mo Quick. Those were some of the first people. A lot of people don't know. I interned at Streets 945 before I started doing a lot of stuff. So those DJ Holiday was the first person who put me on the radio, bro.
Wow.
I remember I was sitting in the front trying to. YK Osiris was coming in the radio station, so I'm trying to get show prep so that the talents could have one sheet of what to interview and ask them about. And I remember he was like, "Man, I know you've been doing that shit. Come back here." He was like, "I'm taking callers, man. Go ahead, read off the winners." He's like, "Go." It's like 5 seconds to his live. He like, and I'm like, "All right." And now it's funny because I was trying to find. I went live on Instagram. But it's like, it's stuff like that. Right. Like when Holiday did that, it showed me like, bro, I can do it too.
Well, when you start preparing, when you start I guess reading all stuff in the mirror, was it like elementary school, middle school, high school?
Man, my mom used to always have me read daily affirmationals, and she used every time I used to get out of the car before she dropped me off at the bus stop, she always would say, "Look your best, do your best, be your best," and grab Jesus' hand. And I always still remember that because it's true. It is kind of kiddish, but it's very true, and that's something that I hold dear to me. And if anybody that's watching this, especially for creatives, remember those values that you have because, like you said, that's what keeps you rooted.
Boy, you was born to do this. You was born to do this. It's like, you look at Fly Guy, just working. Like, he used to do Georgia State football games. That joke would go around the whole stadium. You're like, how is he working the stadium? Like, it's like we in the tabernacle or something.
He everywhere at one time.
Hey, section 3, hey, Georgia State, make some noise. What is this, man? Y'all was born to do this.
Yeah, man, thank you.
I guess, for the people who might feel like, dang, because I think a hurtful thing people can tell people is you're either born with it or you're not. Yeah. Because then it makes people feel like,
what if I was? Exactly.
I guess, what do you have to tell, what part of hard work? Because obviously, you have the talent and the natural abilities and, kind of you were raised and everything like that in the right way. But for what part of hard work does this all play a part of as well?
Man, it's it's all of it. Because it's even though right now, I feel like, and I'm not saying this as though this is how I feel, but sometimes as a creative, I feel like this, I'm not doing enough. And it's okay to feel like that, right? But shout out to TC. One thing he tells me is okay, it's okay to not feel like that, but really master what you're doing right now. So it's say if you want to be a podcaster, but you just can't figure out how to get people to watch your stuff yet, figure out how to be the best marketer. Because then at that point, then you'll know how to get the eyes on you. You already know how to talk to people. So that's one thing that I like to tell people is if there's something that you're trying to do, bro, before I even did all the hosting, all the interviews, all the radio stuff, I was doing YouTube.
Yeah.
I was doing vlogs for people, you know what I'm saying? And so doing all of that behind BTS type of things, that showed me, okay, boom, I did this vlog for the radio station. It got 100K views. I did this interview, helped coordinate this for Lil Baby back in whenever. Okay, now I know how to structure and put together an interview. Okay, so now it's my time, whenever that is, which came a couple years later. I was prepared. You know what I'm saying? So just preparing for the moment because your time will come.
It's like what you tell with artists. It's with the internet now, you can do Russ, one song every Friday. Do that for 3 years, you're going to build something.
Putting shots up.
You're going to build something.
Putting shots up.
And something going to hit.
Exactly.
It's 52 weeks in a year. Exactly. 3 years.
You can't tell me you over 52.
You go for 150.
Oh, for 150. You gotta hit at least one.
You gotta hit. Yeah.
You gotta hit at least.
I guess now, kind of just wrapping up and everything like that. Well, a little more background. Like, what part of Atlanta you from? I believe from the east side, right?
Nah. Okay. So boom. And I hate being that guy, but I'm literally from all over.
Okay.
I was born at Piedmont Hospital on the north side, but I grew up on the south side in College Park.
Okay.
My mom taught at SL Lewis. Like, I used to do a lot of activities over there. I played basketball at Birdie. Like, I'm from the south side.
Right.
Then middle school, my mom got a job in Douglasville, so that's when I went to school.
You all the way out west.
All the way out west.
Okay.
I graduated from Chapel Hill High School.
Yeah.
One of the best high schools. Definitely put me in a different place. It was just a lot of random stuff going on.
Yeah.
I remember the governor came and I had to introduce crazy as fuck. So then, growing up and in church and stuff like that, I go to church at Greater Piney Grove, like right off the east side of Glenwood.
Okay.
So
all
of my aunts, my cousins, everybody live on that side.
Yeah.
And then my brothers that I had, they grew up on the west side. They went to Mays and ran around over there. So literally, I spent
so now you
pockets of my life in every
side, except for north side.
Except for north side. I just was born and then left. I ain't missing nothing.
Shout out north.
Shout out to the north though.
You got
Amigos.
I feel like you have sports. I feel like you have sports on the north side.
That's definitely basketball.
I can't claim Gwinnett because that's like. But shout out Cobb, shout out Miles. But yeah. All right, is there anything that people should look out for? I know you got the esports scene going on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What should people look out for from Manni Supreme?
Definitely look out for Streets is Watching Radio. Our season 3 is gonna be super dope. I'm trying to get into the space of like instead of just doing a regular interview with people, going into their lives.
Yeah.
Like, where do you eat? You know what I'm saying? What's your studio sessions like? So be on the lookout for that. Streets is Watching Radio, my series, Who to Watch For, Sirius XM Shade 45. And then staying up to date with what we're doing with Hot 107 now. We got a lot of special activations coming in the city. Major shout out to our amazing program director, Devin Steele, our marketing coordinator, Gil Jones, Mr. J. Chris. They're actually doing a lot of dope things of partnering with a lot of other, I wouldn't even say third-party entities that's throwing activations in the city, but that's, when we say we're the #1 station in Atlanta, it really is, because people like Gil and Jay Chris just make sure that we are out in the community, and that's my biggest thing. We've been doing like these Friday night high school football blitz, and it's been dope because kids will see me from TikTok, like, bro, I like a TikTok. Now I see a parent, and be like, man, I like your Manni motivation on Sundays, so I think it's really dope. So shout out to my Hot 107 family. Birthday bash next year is gonna be crazy. I'm not gonna say too much, but it's gonna be happening. Like, this year was lit, but next year's gonna be even crazy. But yeah, man, that's what we're gonna do.
You have a scripture, a word of the day growing up in the church, everything.
It's crazy is I don't even know the full verse of this, but I always remember just lean not into your own understanding. Like, a lot of stuff may not make sense to you at the time. That's literally what I'm going through right now. It's just like, why is this happening right now? But it always comes to work out exactly how you need it every time.
Man, how you feeling? How you feeling? Just like in general, like just mental space and stuff like that.
Man, I'm good. One thing I'll tell people is don't become overwhelmed with stuff that you feel like is work. Sometimes I hate looking at hosting like it's a job, and anytime I feel like that, I'll take off and I'll sit back and regroup. It's just like a lot of stuff that we ask for, we complain about. So it's like definitely this homecoming season, I literally hosted at least 4 events a week.
Oh my god!
So, and that was like in and out of town type shit too. So overwhelmed for sure. But now it's November, it's turkey time.
Yeah.
It's holiday season, so I'm feeling good.
Who's the one? Wrapping up now. Who's like the one kind of cosign or person you met that you were just like, oh snap, that's crazy. I never would have thought that I.
That's a good question. Like somebody who knew me that I didn't know who knew me.
Either that or just
somebody
like
I
meeting.
met.
Either that or meeting.
Oh, Young Thug.
Wow.
I spent 10 hours in the studio with him.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, this was like, I was like a sophomore in college. Or I was like a freshman. No, I was a junior. No, I was a sophomore, yeah. This was right the day they shot the $1 million worth of game episode.
Yeah.
The second one, the YSL one in the studio.
Yeah.
I was literally sitting right behind the camera. And before Wallow and Dewey had came in, one thing that I really liked about Thug and his presence was he greets everybody who's in the studio, no matter if you're in the restroom or you outside. He said, "What's up to everybody?" He asks you, "What's your name? What you doing here?" And I was like, well, and at the time I was with DC. We was just there because he introduced.
I remember an interview that DC did with somebody, and he was like, "I was in the studio with y'all all night, and they played over 100 records." So when you said that, I was like, "Is this what they just doing?" They're just like, "Hey, I'm pulling out my."
And it really be relationships, man. And it was cool because, like, bro, that was a long night. That night I had to drive Key, Long Live Key, man. I had to drive Key to Patchworks for a studio session with it wasn't B Slime. Shout out B Slime too. They were just finishing, I guess, the deluxe for the YSL tape or whatever. But it was just a good vibe, man. And when he was just speaking, he was speaking in a tone of really putting on and giving the people around us knowledge. He was like, "Man, instead of buying fucking all these changes I did, man, go buy a painting for $10,000. When they come in your house, they gonna walk right past that." You know what I'm saying? And he was just talking and doing just thug things that you see on memes and shit like that. But I thought it was cool to see it up front and close and personal. And it's also spending that much time with an artist of that caliber and stuff like that. I mean, you're able to really understand how they think and feel outside of just what you see on social media. So that's what made me be like, okay, well, these artists that I like or maybe wanted to put on, it's I need to get a better relationship with them so I can better figure out how they like to get their music served to their fans, you know? So, yeah, I have to say me, because, studio session was for 10 hours. Crazy. We got there at 11. We didn't leave till 7 a.m.
Dang.
Crazy. It was up that whole time.
Final one. Mm-hmm. All right, so you brought up Key. Mm-hmm. Working in this space of hip hop, yesterday obviously the 1 year anniversary of Takeoff.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Just working in this space and being so close to these artists that a lot of people, it might hit them as fans, but having personal relationships with a lot of these folks and working relationships. How do you continue to kind of move through and remain positive and I don't know, just keep coming to work, keep showing up, and keep doing what you have to do every day?
Man, staying grounded and keeping those people around you that genuinely love you for you, who love you for your government and not for your station. And it's with me, because I don't feel like I'm the biggest shit, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel myself getting bigger, and it's I don't know, a lot of times you can smell people around you that just want you for the opportunity. So it's as anybody would say, stay away from those people, but support the people that support you. One thing that I always do, if you comment on my Instagram picture, bro, I'm gonna comment, I'm gonna respond. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of dude that oh, you comment, I just want to have 1,000 comments. I'm not gonna say nothing, nobody, I'm not gonna follow nobody back. Because shit, the people that I look up to don't do that. I just got a chance to meet Balin Levine. That's another person.
Balin, yeah.
Balin,
I saw that. I ain't gonna lie. I was
shout out to Balin. Shout out to Balin, man. Shout out to UTA. Shout out to Zach Cross, Tony Parker. I had to host this event for them 2.5 weeks ago. Yeah. Super dope event. It was big, but what it did was it gave artists and creators the chance to connect with people like Balin who could give you that one-on-one advice and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's just dope seeing those types of people in person again, because okay, now I know how I can better myself to relate to people who may fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Shout out to Balin, like Tyson Nash.
Right.
All right, man. Manni Supreme stopping by. Thanks for showing love to Rolling.
Shout out to Rolling Out, man. I've been wanting to get out here for a minute.
Look, you here now. You
here.
Come on, man.
I check it out the list. Yeah, for sure.
But I'm Rashad again. Until next time, please take care of yourselves. Thank you, Malik, for producing.